Hey, Ghost Fleet, 2-minute warning. Ghost Fleet, 2-minute warning for your warm-ups, and we'll get started with team introductions. 2-minute warning. Alrighty, Ghost Fleet, that concludes your warm-up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Peninsula Family Skating Center on this wonderful Sunday morning. We've got great derby action coming at you as Ghost Fleet hosts Dominion Derby Gals, the DDG Seven City Sirens coming up against the Ghost Fleet Phantoms. And as we get set, we'll be ready for team announcements and announcing our lineups here in just a minute. Hopefully we got some first-time Derby watchers out there in the audience, and we will talk you through the gameplay. If you look around, you can also see there's QR codes all over the rink. Those QR codes have a link to our digital bout production book, so basically a digital program. Feel free to take a look at those digital programs. They've got all the rules about Derby right in there, and I guarantee you'll have more explanations and better explanations than I can give you during live Derby play. You guys have like a rollout song you want to play, or no? I wouldn't worry about it.
Dimples, can you please come to the announcer's table? Dimples, can you please come to the announcer's booth?
You guys gonna roll, or are you guys just gonna be on the side?
Well, how do you guys do it?
We usually just stand by the side.
Yeah, we can stand by the side and just step out.
Dope. Sounds good. Awesome. We'll get started in like a minute.
Yep.
Awesome. Alrighty, DDG and Ghost Fleet to the track. We will start our team announcements, and we will get Derby coming at you here in 3 minutes. Both teams to the track, and we will announce our starting lineups. Come on. Come on.
Move your asses.
Get up.
Okay?
Go for it.
All right.
And alrighty, for your home team, Ghost Fleet Phantoms, number 808, Parks and Rec. Number 702, Amoxicillin. Number 108, Killer Zen. Number 52, Flux Incapacitator. Number 201, Mona Lisa. Number 24, Stabarella. Number 1979, Nora the Destroyer. Number 905, Fancy Spice. Number 71, your team captain, Stevie Kicks. Number 177, Venus Thigh Trap. Number 1220, Sushi Rolls. Number 94, Chili Con Carnage. Number 141, Mobsta. Number 36, Sugar and Slice. And number 999, Rampage. The Phantoms are coached today by Joe Booze and Jack Stabber. Big round of applause for your home team, the Phantoms. All right, here we go. So dorky. I love it. I love it. I love every bit of it. All right, Parks coming out to jam first.
Dissonant Darling jamming first.
Perfect.
I will follow your lead, sir.
Sounds good. All righty, as our skaters take the track, it looks like Parks and Rec's going to be wearing the star for Ghost Fleet first.
And Dissonant Darling wearing the star for DDG. And that whistle the start of the jam. Both jammers try to work their way through those
Is it
walls.
right in the program?
Yeah.
Did I say the wrong number?
And Parks and Rec getting through first, picking up lead jammer status. Dissonant Darling getting a little bit of a run back there by one of the Ghost Fleet blockers.
It looks like Stabarella able to knock her out of bounds and recycles. So anytime a skater's knocked out of bounds, they must come back in bounds behind the skater that knocked them out of bounds. So a recycle for Dissonant Darling there.
Parks and Rec picking up 4 points on that scoring pass. Dissonant Darling doing a star pass. Looks like over to Forlow Woody. Forlow Woody is now the jammer for Dominion.
So for Low Woody now, the point scorer. Originally, the point scorers have to wear the star on their helmet, so a new point scorer out there for DDG, but Parks and Rec takes what they can get and calls the jam off. It looks like an early 6-point lead for the Phantoms. No worries. Who was the pivot that took the star?
Forlow Woody.
Got it.
Who's your jammer? 72.
And that looks like Amoxicillin, 720. Amoxicillin now jamming for Ghost Fleet.
And we have Memento Rory jamming for Dominion, picking up lead jammer status.
And right on Rory's heels is Amoxicillin. Amoxicillin in a foot race is actually caught up to Rory on the outside and now passes on through. Rory calling off the jam. Does not want to get into a foot race there with a very fleet on their feet Amoxicillin.
No points picked up on that jam.
Looks like Fancy Spice getting ready to jam for Ghost Fleet. Fancy Spice going up and working to the inside. So obviously to score points in roller derby, you have to not only make it through the pack, but then you'll get a point for every member of the opposite team that you lap. So Fancy trying to fight through the pack right now so they can get out on their initial scoring pass. And, oh, just not able to stay in bounds. Fancy trying to pull a quick move there on the toe stops, and now Fancy is through lead jam for Ghost Fleet.
Moni Soprano still trying to make her way through on her initial pass, meeting some opposition there by the Ghost Fleet wall. Moni taking a tumble a little bit there on the turn, meeting opposition by that Ghost Fleet blocker, still trying to make her way through on that initial pass, is able to get up and now on scoring pass 1.
Big hits there at the back of the pack is Fancy Spice. Oh, and a big fall there. Fancy able to pick up one more point, though, on that pass as the Phantoms extend their lead out now early in this game. Only 3 minutes gone, and it's an 11-0 lead for the Phantoms. And Parks and Rec comes back out on the track to jam again for Ghost Fleet.
Dissonant Darling on the line for the Seven City Sirens. Dissonant Darling breaking through, picking up lead jammer status.
Yeah, Sugar and Slice trying to give chase there as one of the blockers for Ghost Fleet, and now Parks and Rec through as well. So probably the first points here coming for DDG as Darling now on the scoring pass. Nice tiptoe around the inside.
Listening to her bench staff, calling that jam off, able to pick up 4 points on that pass. DDG now has points on the board, looking at 11 Phantoms, 4 Seven City Sirens. 25, a little over 25 left to go.
Really nice hop, skip, and a jump there on the inside line, exiting turn 1 for Darling there.
On the line for the Seven City Sirens, we have Memento Rory.
And that's Amoxa Killen coming back out to put the star on for Ghost Fleet. We saw these two jammers get into a foot race. They both got through the pack fairly neck and neck. And Amoxa Killen trying to work outside in.
Rory trying to take that inside line, getting run back by Ghost Fleet blocker. Number 24.
That's Stabarella doing the recycle there on Memento Rory. And it looks like a penalty was called on the pivot for DDG. Meanwhile, Amoxa Killen out lead jam.
And Rory is able to make it through the pack, now on scoring pass. Nice block there.
Big hit on the outside from 1966 for DDG.
That is Bambi's bullet. Rory able to pick up 4 more points to go on the board there. Nice call off there by Amoxa Killen.
So Amoxa Killen actually outscored there on that jam. I think the getting knocked out of bounds right there and having to recycle back kind of gave Rory the inside line to come back and score more points actually than Amoxa Killen there.
Looks like we have Moni Soprano on the line for the Seven City Sirens.
And that is Fancy Spice. Fancy picked up lead jam last time they were out on the track.
And Fancy is able to pick up lead jammer status once again. Oh, dang, he's only got 2 blockers on the track. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I think she had 3.
Now 3.
Now 3.
Moni Soprano meeting opposition there.
And Fancy able to work right around Alrekia. A 4-point pass as now I believe, I'm not sure.
Soprano passing the star to 4 low Woody.
So a star pass now in the offing again. We'll see if Fancy Spice picks up some more points. And we'll see what the tactic is from Ghost Fleet here.
And Alrekia trying to recycle Fancy Spice back. Fancy calling off that jam as Woody was trying to come up to pick up points. Score 21 Phantoms, 8 Seven City Sirens, 23 left to go.
Is that Moni that was just jamming?
Yes, Moni Soprano. And Dissonant Darling is on the line. Jamming for the Seven City Sirens, we have Dissonant Darling and Parks and Rec for Ghost Fleet.
Yeah, you see the walls talking to each other. So there are two lines where the skaters can start from. The jammers have to start behind the jam line, and the walls can start anywhere between the jam line and the pivot line. And you saw the walls backing themselves up against the jammers. Probably a tactic to try to prevent a running start out there. Parks and Rec does quick work, telling her wall to continue to move forward. Parks and Rec trying to score some points.
Parks and Rec looks like picking up.
Nope.
Picking up 1 point on that scoring pass, not letting Dominion pick up any more points on that scoring pass. On the line for Dominion, we have Memento Rory.
And Amoxicillin there put the start back on. So these two jammers have gone head-to-head twice now, and we'll see who comes out on top on this third option. I believe Amoxicillin lead jam each of the last two times. Ooh, Amoxicillin, big hit from, I believe that's Al Recchia. And Amoxicillin up on the toe stops, really trying to push forward. Stabby trying to bridge there, and Nora the Destroyer has to give a release there as Memento Rory out as lead jam.
That was excellent bridge work on the part of Ghost Fleet. Start pass. Ghost Fleet. Come on, Rory, get up. 720.
Oh, she's the jammer. She's just putting it in her hand. And that's a penalty called on Ghost Fleet captain Stevie Kicks. So we'll see a skater down now for Ghost Fleet. Amoxicillin still has not been able to make it through the pack as Rory knocked out of bounds by Nora the Destroyer. Rory playing it safe, recycling back behind the walls, and it looks like Mobsta and Stabarella trying to do everything they can to hold up and stop the jam. I'm not going to worry about it. To Nora the Destroyer. Oh, got it, yeah. Yeah, but they did 20 points, so.
Score 22 Phantoms, 12 Seven City Sirens. 20 minutes left to go in this first half.
So we're talking about penalties here. As you can imagine, quite a bit of violence on the track here. Lots of big hits, lots of big falls. The pads are there not for show. They're definitely there to protect these skaters. Looks like we're going to have Fancy Spice getting ready to jam for Ghost Fleet.
Moni Soprano for Seven City Sirens.
Oh, Fancy Spice doing a little jammer-on-jammer blocking there. It's you always like to see some jammer-on-jammer action. And that's my roller derby cliche bingo for you right there. Fancy Spice bursting through on the inside.
Moni getting run back there. What was her name?
Killer Zen.
By Killer Zen.
Nice DDG quad blocking on the outside of turn 2 has Fancy Spice really fighting. A multiplayer block being called on Killer Zen for Ghost Fleet. So now Ghost Fleet down a blocker. So
Moni Soprano still trying to make it through. Finally getting through on her initial pass. Once she gets past this last.
oh, a huge hit there. And we will take a momentary timeout.
Moni Soprano taking a hard hit, getting up. We have called that jam off. It looks like we're going to have a quick official timeout.
So as we were talking about earlier, that is Sushi Rolls heading to the penalty box for that big hit on Moni Soprano. So again, there are legal blocking zones. You can block between the shoulders and the mid-thighs, really, on the front of a skater. So looks like maybe a bit of a high block called there on Sushi Rolls. All right, some discussion happening now. It's a good time to shout out some of our sponsors. Obviously, we're skating here at the Peninsula Family Skating Center. We've had a great relationship here, and Peninsula Family Skating Center has been with us the entire way. So, Peninsula Family Skating Center, a huge shout out to one of our great sponsors here of Ghost Fleet Roller Derby. Additionally, we have Capstan Bar Brewing Company, another outstanding sponsor. So, Capstan Bar is where our after party is actually going to occur over on Exploration Way. Capstan Bar and DD214, two outstanding sponsors of Ghost Fleet as we get set for Derby again.
On the line for the Seven City Sirens, we have Dissonant Darlin.
And I believe that's Nora the Destroyer actually getting ready to jam for the first time. So Nora now jamming with two blockers in the penalty box for Ghost Fleet. So it should be easy work for Oh, no. Wow, Nora took the star off briefly, but Nora now through as lead jam, hot on Nora's heels.
Dissonant Darlin.
Big hit from Aulrecchia, able to knock Nora out of bounds.
Dissonant Darlin picking up 4 points to add to that scoreboard, as well as Nora picking up 4 points.
So it looked like Nora was trying to call. I'm not sure if Nora's actually the lead jam, so Nora did not have the star on their helmet when they pushed through the pack, so I believe that was not actually why it was called for Nora. So actually Dissonant Darling was the leading scorer on that jam, 8 points to I believe 6 for Nora. Well, she can't be the lead jammer if the star's on her helmet, right? She can't be the lead jammer if she doesn't have the star on. Yeah. So she made it through the pack but couldn't be declared lead jam. Fancy Spice and Memento Rory going at it. This first time we've seen a matchup of these two jammers.
Memento Rory barreling through the Ghost Fleet wall, picking up lead jammer status. Fancy Spice hot on the heels.
Yeah, we've seen speed match with speed. Every time Memento Rory comes out as the jammer, Ghost Fleet trying to put a little bit of speed to try to match Rory's.
And Rory calling that jam off before either jammer was able to go through and pick up points.
So I think Sushi Rolls was ejected because the hit was to the head. Which we won't really talk about, but also she looks like she's super upset. In her first bout. And Nora the Destroyer for the second time getting ready to jam.
It looks like we have Moni Soprano back on the track.
So we'll talk through a little bit of the confusion there last time. So Nora was the first jammer through the pack, which you would think makes Nora the lead jammer, but Nora did not have the star on her helmet. So Nora, without the star on, could not become the lead jammer. So Nora trying to fight back again, and a lead jam for DDG.
Nora still trying to make her way through on her initial pass.
Blondie Knox doing a nice job to the inside line, able to knock Nora out. And another big hit almost there from Blondie Knox, but Nora now finally through on their scoring pass.
Moni Soprano still trying to make her way through on her current scoring pass, getting run back.
Oh, big collision there at the back of the pack. That was Stormbird putting a big hit on Nora, knocking Nora almost out of bounds.
Moni Soprano getting knocked onto the inside between turns 3 and 4, getting run back by Ghost Fleet.
And that was Amaxa Killen delivering the hit on the inside of turn 3. So now Nora able finally to catch up to Moni Soprano and is now evening the scoring here on this jam.
Moni Soprano listening to her bench staff calling off that jam.
That's got to be one of those ones where you hit the back of the pack. How close is the next jammer? I quit.
Score 41 Phantoms, 24 Seven City Sirens. 15 minutes left to go in this first half.
So halfway through this first half, we've seen Fancy Spice coming back out to jam again for Ghost Fleet. Fancy doing a great job. Almost had all lead jams, but was out-dueled there by I believe that was Memento Rory on the last jam.
Dissonant Darling is jamming for the Seven City Sirens, picking up lead jammer status. Fancy Spice caught and a little bit of jammer on jammer action, a little bit of a tumble there, calling that jam off in between turns 3 and 4 before Fancy's able to get up to the pack to pick up any points.
And Dissonant Darling taking a big hit. So, yeah, jammers blocking jammers on the outside of turn 4 there. And that was a great call off by Darling as Fancy Spice able to pull away and would have been scoring points despite Darling being the lead jammer. Parks and Rec now getting ready to jam.
Memento Rory for DDG.
Oh, Parks and Rec doing some fancy footwork. I initially thought Parks was going to move to the outside. Al Recchia trying to put one last hit and does. Big hit on Parks and Rec from Al Recchia.
Memento Rory picking up lead jammer status.
So that big hit really able to secure a lead jam for DDG there. Parks and Rec almost escaped, but Al Recchia proven to be quite the blocking force here on multiple different jams.
Memento Rory getting through, picking up 4 points on that scoring pass. And calling off that jam.
And a timeout being called by Ghost Fleet. That gives us a great chance to talk to some of our outstanding sponsors again. Get Cheesy, a delicious food truck that if you haven't had the pleasure, you should. They're typically found at many of the different venues around the peninsula. And I tell you what, they actually have a Ghost Fleet special. So a Ghost Fleet special, which is like a buffalo chicken mixed with a jalapeno popper sandwich. Believe me when I tell you, it is an amazing sandwich. And that is courtesy of Get Cheesy. Another sponsor, the Hampton Roads Harley-Davidson. If you've caught any of their summer concert series over the previous few months, then you've probably seen some of our Ghost Fleet skaters out there serving beverages and watching great live music out there at Hampton Roads. Another wonderful sponsor of Ghost Fleet Roller Derby. Time to shout out one of our other sponsors, L. Workman Photography. Our very own Sugar and Slice is a bad A photographer in real life. Takes awesome photographs of all your important memories from life. We actually got senior photos, baby photos, all sorts of great photo deals so that you can remember those important moments in your life. If you've got something that you want to commemorate, L. Workman Photography is the photography choice for you and a wonderful sponsor here of Ghost Fleet Roller Derby. And it looks like an official timeout being an official review. We're not quite sure what's officially being reviewed, but as soon as we do, we will let you know. It might be a point scoring total, a discussion between who scored what and when and how. So once we know what that official review is, we'll let you know. Yeah, we will officially let you know what the official review is all about. Or we'll take stabs in the dark at it and try to tell you what we think it's about and probably be wrong.
We will be taking bets.
Bets are open on what the official review is all about.
I haven't had banter with Big Pig so long. I'm sorry, keep just piling it on.
Also want to shout out Siren Skate Shop, a fantastic skate shop located in Virginia Beach. If you've got skating needs, whether that's park skating, rec skating, rink skating, skateboards, rollerblades, if it's got skates on it, the Siren Skate Shop has got you set. Visit the Siren Skate Shop, an outstanding sponsor here for Ghost Fleet Roller Derby. right, for any of you who had a potential high block as the official review, that's what it was. Ghost Fleet was requesting a high block on one of the DDG blockers against the Blue Jammer. The referees did not grant that high block penalty, so the Phantoms will lose their official review, and we will get back to Derby.
Jamming for DDG, we've got Moni Soprano.
And that is Moxakillan, number 720, working outside. Looks like Chili Con Carnage trying to open a hole there and not able to do it. Nora had to release Moni Soprano as the lead jam.
Moxakillan hot on Moni's heels. Moni calling off that jam, listening to her bench staff before either jammer was able to pick up any points on that scoring pass.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing some speed. Both of the jammers on many of these jams are making it through the pack at the same time, and when it becomes a foot race like that, and there's no real clear scoring advantage, it's usually tactically sound to just call off the jam and let a new set of jammers try to fight it out.
We have a score update. Phantoms 41, Seven City Sirens 28 with 12 and a half left to go in this first half.
And there's Fancy Spice putting the star back on. I believe that is Darling, Dissident Darling.
Yeah. And Darling getting through, picking up lead jammer status.
Nice move outside. Fancy getting rung up there almost by Al Recchia. Boy, I've said that name several times. Al Recchia proven to be quite the force on the track for DDG.
Distant Darling calling that jam off. Let's see how many points both of our jammers picked up here.
So Fancy Spice able to limit the damage.
Both jammers picking up 2 points on that scoring pass. I'd like to take a quick second to thank all of our on and off states officials for your dedication and service to our leagues today. Thank you very much. We could not do this without you.
Yeah, you got to give a huge shout out to all the volunteers, the non-skating officials. Looks like an official timeout being taken there by our head referee, Ducky Do-Right, working out some issue here, I think, with the penalty box timing. And while head referee Ducky Do-Right does that, it's a great time to shout out all of our referees and non-skating officials. Our referee crew today, headed up by Ducky Do-Right, and our support staff. I've seen, I believe, that was Sailor Doom running around with a security shirt on. Wherever you are, Doom, there she is. Big wave over there by the skate rental sign. Right next to our league president. Damn, Gina. So, yeah, these roller derby games are a huge production and require the work of so many volunteers to put on. So we can't thank our volunteers, family members, NSOs, and referees for helping us put on this production today. What sponsors haven't I shouted out yet? So again, if you are here and you want to hang out with some of these awesome skaters, maybe you're interested in joining Ghost Fleet Roller Derby, we've got a sign up and interest merch table over here right by the announcing booth, and you can come to the after party at the Capstan Bar Brewing Company. I guarantee you there'll be a food truck there. You can mix and mingle with all these awesome derby skaters and enjoy the camaraderie and ambiance of hanging out with some of these fantastic athletes. And I gotta tell you, Sparrow, like, I've always been impressed by the athleticism that's required to do derby.
It's not for the faint of heart. It's not. It's dedication, blood, sweat, tears, every other bodily fluid you can think of, but it's worth it. All right, looks like the next one is going to start the jam. Looks like we have Parks and Rec and Memento Rory on the line.
And Parks and Rec trying to put a little bit of a hit on Memento Rory, and I think that swing and miss is what cost the lead jam status. Memento Rory very quick to the inside line, and Parks and Rec having a hard time with that wall.
Hitting a Bambi's Bullet and Blondie Knox wall, but Parks and Rec is able to get through. Both jammers now on scoring passes.
Bambi Bullet almost knocked Parks and Rec out. I believe a back block is being called on the DDG Jammer. Yes, that was a back block. Coming in hot there, Memento Rory into the back of the Ghost Fleet wall. So a power jam now for Ghost Fleet. That means Parks and Rec is the only jammer on the floor and can basically do as much scoring as possible until Memento Rory is out of the penalty box.
No pack is called. You must reset. You must release that jammer.
Hard not to push. See, told you. Hard
No, Ducky told me I have to wait. I can say it, but I have to
You have to wait until after they call it, yeah.
wait.
I know.
Because last night I was. And Parks and Rec getting picking up another 4 points on that scoring pass. Memento Rory back on the track.
Bloninox trying to give a big hit there on Parks and Rec, and yeah, we've seen some pretty stout defense there. A multiplayer block being called on one of the skaters for Ghost Fleet, though, so linking hands or linking arms, trying to block Memento Rory. Memento now back around. Big hit to the inside from Stevie Kicks. Recycles Memento Rory.
And seeing how Memento Rory was the lead jammer, but they reported to the penalty box, this game is going to go the full 2 minutes. And that whistle is the end of that jam. Let's see how many points we've got here, Slice.
Parks and Rec, a big jam. That is the highest scoring jam of the day for either team. So a 22-point jam for Parks and Rec there, and that is courtesy of, I think, that power jam. No correction, that is an 18-point jam. 18-point jam for Parks and Rec, still the highest scoring jam of the day.
Looks like we're going to take a quick official timeout. Phantoms 61, 7 City Sirens 38. 9 minutes left to go in this first half.
Both teams will start this next jam with a skater in the penalty box. So 3 blockers in the wall. I believe that's a Moxa Killen getting ready to jam for Ghost Fleet.
And we've got Moni Soprano on the line for DDG. Next season, if you want somebody to announce with you,
Yeah, we've tried having second announcers come up here, and everybody does it a couple times, and they're like, I'm done.
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
Because I can bring you up there with me.
Come up whenever you're always welcome.
Okay, the last week you guys had, it was your little
Mm-hmm.
multi thing. Alright, that whistle was the start of that jam. We got some jammer on jammer action right there at the start line.
Oh, a Moxa Killen pulling a high-level move. So a Moxa Killen knocked out Moni Soprano.
And I don't think she saw that Mox Killen was trying to run her back. So she will be reporting to the penalty box.
So a Moxa
Power jam, I'm sorry.
So Moxa Killen almost gets held up there. Almost a nice penalty kill. I believe that's from Stormbird and Al Recchia. But it is a power jam for a Moxa Killen. Is that Stormbird on the inside?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. And the DDG wall reforming up top, that pivot block from Al Recchia and Stormbird. That's Ayla Woody. And a Moxa Killen able to spring free on the inside.
Moni Soprano back on the track. And a Mox Killen calling that jam off as Moni was heading up to the back of the pack to try to score some points.
Yeah, so a move there. So an official review being asked for from DDG, and we'll see if that official review has something to do with the jammer run back. So again, we were talking about it earlier. Anytime you're knocked out of bounds, you must re-enter the track behind the skater, which knocked you out of bounds. So we saw Moxa Killen, the jammer for Ghost Fleet, knocking Moni Soprano out of bounds and then running back. I mean, Moni Soprano re-entered the track in front of amoxicillin, that was the illegal reentry, or correction, it should be called a track cut. So you're re-entering the track in front of the skater that knocked you out. So I believe that was the original track cut call against Moni Soprano. What do you think, Sparrow? What else could they be reviewing right here?
They're just taking a break.
Well, who doesn't like a good break?
They're just taking a break. Everybody needs to take a nice deep breath in, let it out, deep breath in, let it out.
Well, while we're taking a break, feel free to go on over and get you some merch. There was merch right by the entryway, so if you wanted to pick up some Ghost Fleet merchandise, we've got a table set out there. There are stickers, pins, shirts, even a sleeveless hoodie, which is actually very comfortable. It's far more comfortable than you'd think for those of you who like to, let your guns breathe a little.
Sun's out, guns out.
That's the word.
Yeah, you guys need help next year in your work-ins. Please do that. I am having a blast.
Yeah, and as suspected, DDG was requesting an official review on that initial track cut when amoxicillin knocked out Moni Soprano. That track cut was upheld, though, so DDG will lose their official review, just like Ghost Fleet lost their official review earlier.
On the jam line, we've got Dissonant Darling and Fancy Spice. That whistle was the start.
The two jammers kind of trying to, size each other up a little bit, I think, so...
Feeling it out. Dissonant Darling picking up lead jammer status.
And right through on their heels is Fancy Spice. So Fancy Spice, quite a lot of speed.
And Dissonant Darling calling that jam off before either jammer was able to come through and pick up any points.
So I think that's actually the fourth or fifth time we've seen one of the two jammers make it through, and the second jammer make it through right behind him and get into a foot race. And it's almost an auto call off of the jam for the lead jammer when they both make it through the pack right away. Because again, there's really no scoring advantage as a jammer if both jammers make it through at the same time.
On the line, we've got Memento Rory and Parks and Rec. Hard push there by Memento Rory. It looks like we are going to have a power jam for Parks and Rec. Memento Rory reporting to the penalty box. I thought it was a backwalk. Looks like possibly a forearms penalty, but I think it was forearms.
So it looks like an injury timeout being taken on the outside of turn one. So with that jam being called off early for the injury there, we'll actually restart with a new jam, and since Memento Rory is in the penalty box, it should be a power start for Amoxicillin. So power start for Amoxicillin.
Get off the track, Moni.
So Ghost Fleet is electing to put out one of their faster skaters, although I gotta say Parks and Rec and Fancy Spice and Amoxicillin are all very quick, and you've seen a lot of speed out of all three jammers trying to catch up to the DDG jammers when DDG has successfully gotten lead jam. So Ghost Fleet here splitting up their wall. Looks like Stevie Kicks and Mona Lisa up top, while Chilikin Carnage and Nora the Destroyer probably going resetting themselves to do some offense, I think, for Amoxicillin.
Let's see if this works for them.
They're going to do O. Fuck yeah, they're going to do O. Get it. And Chilikin Carnage trying to spring an outside lane there for Amoxicillin. Oh, a big hit being delivered there.
Bambi's bullet. Oh, that big hit landed Bambi's bullet in the penalty box.
Yeah, I believe that was a direction of gameplay penalty called there. So Amoxicillin successfully through, and a nice, we'll call that an apex hippity hop, a little apex jump around the outside of turn 2.
Memento Rory getting knocked in and then having to come in on the inside, trying to get through that Ghost Fleet wall.
And there goes Amoxicillin around the outside. That's another 4 points. 8 points so far for Amoxicillin. Big hit delivered there by Stevie Kicks on the top of the top straightaway. And Amoxicillin, another 4-point pass. Amoxicillin trying to hunt down Parks and Rec's scoring record there earlier. The 18-point jam for Parks and Rec, the leading point-scoring jam thus far.
We had a star pass to Anakin Starblocker.
And Amoxicillin being recycled there says, you know what? Parks and Rec can keep her scoring record. I would rather just call that one off before we get into the scoring for Anakin Starblocker. That's why I was like, who is that? Is that Moni? Parks and Rec through on the inside line. Parks and Rec out his lead jam. Looks like Killer Zen working the hips on the inside line, really fighting to keep Moni Soprano from getting through. A star pass potential here. Oh, Stabarella tried one last hit on the inside of turn 1, but Forlow Woody through.
Parks and Rec calling that off before Forlow Woody is able to try to get through and get some points. Score 88 Phantoms 38, 7 City Sirens 3 and 49 left to go.
Yeah, so as we get closer here to the end of our first half, just remember we've got an after party, so the fun doesn't have to stop once this game is over. You can head on over to the Capstan Bar Brewing Company and check out, get some great food from, I can't remember exactly who the food truck is. I'll find that information out for you, though. And grab a beverage and meet some of the skaters.
We have Fancy Spice and Dissonant Darlin jamming on this jam. Dissonant Darlin picking up lead jammer status.
Oh, a huge hit there. That was Bambi's bullet.
Bambi giving one last little tap there before Fancy Spice was able to get through.
And I think that is exactly the kind of medicine you need for a jammer with the speed of Fancy Spice is to try to knock them down early.
Fancy's got escape.
It looks like that jam is called as Fancy approaches the pack for their own scoring, and potentially a skate issue there for Fancy that'll get worked out here over on the bench momentarily. And now Killer Zen, number 108, is actually putting on the star for the first time, going up against Memento Rory. Killer Zen, an easy pass to the inside, but runs into that stout blocking wall, lowers the shoulder, and Owl Rekia having to release. There's Killer Zen, lead jam for Ghost Fleet.
Memento Rory still trying to make their way through on their initial pass. Meeting opposition there by the Ghost Fleet wall. Oh, and Zen reporting to the penalty box. So we have a power jam from Memento Rory.
So I wonder if there was a potential track cut called there on Killer Zen on the initial pass. So now Rory able to do quite a bit of scoring here until Zen can get out of the box. Get that shoulder in.
Memento Rory making it through the Ghost Fleet wall, picking up 4 points and calling off that jam. Oh, because Zen was standing.
So when the penalty is almost over in the last 5 seconds of a 30-second penalty, the skater in the penalty box can actually stand up. So Rory, very heads-up play there to see that Killer Zen is standing in the box. And now we will have a power start, I believe, for Moni Soprano.
Looks like we're having a quick official timeout.
And with a minute 16 left, only 14 jam. No, is that the 24th jam? Yeah, the 24th jam. So fairly high number of jams here in this first half. That means these jams are lasting probably a minute and 10, minute and 15. And given that a full jam is 2 minutes long, that means a lot of jams. These skaters are out there scoring quite a bit. And we'll see now a power start for Moni Soprano. Not quite sure what the official timeout is for, but when we know, you'll know. All right, so after much discussion, I believe we have doped that out. It is going to be a power start for Moni Soprano and DDG. All right, and after that brief interlude there for a review, we are back in derby action. Nice blocking right up against the jam line. Parks and Rec doing some offensive blocking with Stabarella and Mobsta. And it looks like now Killer Zen is back on the track, a jammer for Ghost Fleet. Parks and Rec being sent to the penalty box, though, and Killer Zen able to break through as the lead jam. So coming off the penalty box and into lead jam is Killer Zen.
Tony Soprano still trying to make it way through on that initial pass.
Stabarella doing a nice job anchoring that defense and knocking Moni Soprano out of bounds on the outside of turn 2. Moni having to recycle all the way back. So you can see the blockers here forming a kind of a tripod. So you've got one anchor right up at the top. That was Mobsta holding on with Mona Lisa and Stabarella trying to anchor that tripod.
Zen coming up hot on Moni's tail.
And Killer Zen being given the full run, probably because this is the last jam here as time has almost expired in the jam. So Zen just able to run for as long as they can. A multiplayer block called, I believe, on
Bullet. Zen calling that jam off, and it looks like we are at the half. Score, Phantoms 100, Seven City Sirens 48.
All right, we'll be back with derby action in 15 minutes. So halftime now for Ghost Fleet Roller Derby. Get up, stretch your legs, move around, grab some merch, meet somebody new, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. And everyone, we've got a very special birthday request. We've got a birthday coming up, and a very special birthday girl. Would you please, everyone in the audience and both teams, join me in singing happy birthday for a 9th birthday girl to Zila. Happy birthday, Zila. All right, we're going to sing happy birthday to Zila. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zila. Happy birthday to you. Happy 9th birthday, Zila. Alrighty, as we get set with just about 8 minutes left of roller derby, we've got our raffle coming up. As you guys bought a ticket to enter the venue, your ticket also served as your raffle ticket for the merchandise basket that you saw on your way in. So if you've got your ticket, pull it out now and we will let you know who the raffle winner is. All right, the winning raffle ticket, 108372. 108372. If you are a winner, then you can head out to the front and get your merchandise basket, your raffle basket. Congratulations, 108372. 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning to our skaters and officials. We'll get started back with the second half of roller derby here in just under 2 minutes. And just like that, we are back in action here, coming at you as the Ghost Fleet Phantoms taking on the DDG 7 City Sirens. Second half derby action coming back to you right now. No, of course. Yeah.
She said that.
Yeah, was it head?
Yeah. Well, what she didn't. Her husband was one of the coaches. He's like, you guys need to stop talking to her because she's gonna want to come back early. Alrighty, on the line we've got Memento Rory and Amoxicillin.
Speed versus speed here. We've seen Memento Rory doing a great job driving through the walls, and lots of speed there from both Rory and Amoxicillin. A direction of gameplay penalty called very early there on Stabarella. Both jammers out of the pack right away. Amoxicillin decides, I'm going to put my foot down and see how fast I can go, but Rory able to match the pace, and a quick call off from Amoxicillin.
Nice little fist bump there between the jammers.
Yeah, you saw Amoxicillin try to get down a little bit and really put on some speed, and Rory was right there step for step.
Looks like we have Moni Soprano and Nora the Destroyer on the jam line.
And with both Stabarella and I believe that's Bambi's Bullet in the penalty box, we'll have 3-on-3 walls for both Ghost Fleet and DDG. Dueling tripods as Nora the Destroyer hits the back of DDG's, trying to push forward. That is Blondinox, I believe. Blondinox just not able to close the door in time, and Nora out as the lead jam for Ghost Fleet.
Moni Soprano still trying to make her way through the Ghost Fleet wall.
I think that was actually Fancy Spice as the pivot there for Ghost Fleet, delivering the hit. So a blocking trio of Fancy Spice, Stevie Kicks, and I believe that's Venus Thigh Trap.
We have a star pass to Anakin Starblocker. Looks like Anakin will be reporting to the penalty box, though, unfortunately. So we have a power jam for Ghost Fleet.
Oh, big hit there from Bambi's Bullet. Nice 1v1 face blocking on Nora.
No pack was called. You must release. You must reform.
So that was a heads-up play on the Ghost Fleet wall to just stop in place and allow the pack to stretch out, forcing the release for Nora. Stabarella going up to do a little bit of offense against Bambi's bullet, and Bambi able to knock Nora out of bounds, though.
All four blockers back on the track.
And both jammers back on the track now as well. Looks like there was a star pass.
Anakin Starblocker is the jammer now for Dominion. Picking up 4 points on that scoring pass. Bambi's bullet reporting to the penalty box. Nora calling that jam off, picking up 4 points for all her troubles.
So a 108 to 52 lead now. Correction, that's a 112 to 52 lead. And Bambi's bullet starting the next jam in the penalty box. Oh, wait, no, it is a 108-52. My correction there. So, well, you wanna keep the. No, it is 112-52. I was right, and then I was wrong, and then I was right again. And now I'm wrong again. It is 108 to 52.
We have Parks and Rec and Dissonant Darlin on the jam line. Parks and Rec picking up lead jammer status very quickly. Star pass, it looks like, from Dissonant Darling to Forlow Woody.
So high-level gameplay there from DDG. So as soon as a Ghost Fleet lead jammer is called, the jammer from DDG is immediately taking the star off their helmet and starting to execute a star pass. That's a heads-up play from the jammers as Mobsta goes face-to-face with Owl Rekia. Now Killer Zen and Mobsta trying to push with Forlow Woody. And about to be a no pack called there as Mobsta and Sushi Rolls have to release. And I believe that'll be a blocking out of play on Sushi Rolls there.
And Parks and Rec calling that jam off, picking up 4 points there at the very end. Don't chase. They've already passed you.
Nora getting set to jam again, so already getting to jam twice here in this second half is Nora the Destroyer.
It looks like we're going to have a quick official timeout. The refs look like they're going to discuss a few of the actions from the last jam. We've got Memento Rory on the line for the Seven City Sirens. Why don't you tell us about a few of our sponsors while we're waiting?
Well, a couple of our sponsors here that we haven't shouted out yet are Derby Empire. It's where skaters go to shop if you need fresh new Derby gear, or if you're not a Derby player and you just need new skating gear, then go ahead and check out Derby Empire for all your skating and Derby needs. It is where Derby skaters go to shop. Also want to shout out OG Karaoke. This music setup and all the great music at our karaoke events at Capstan, courtesy of OG Karaoke. If you like singing or if you like having a mic, believe me, what do you think the best karaoke song is, Sparrow? Like, if you could pick one karaoke song, what would you lead with? So I want to say Four Non-Blondes is always a classic. I know I've got some skater support there. I think if you sing Four Non-Blondes, I said, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. There you go. What's Going On is, I would say, my favorite karaoke song. What about you?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's my husband's favorite karaoke song.
Nailing it.
I do love to see a really bad rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody, though.
Oh, now, first of all, I have to correct you there. There is no bad rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody, so is there? Wayne's World. Top 10 Bohemian Rhapsody, or did you know? That was beautiful.
I've seen bad in person. Bad in person.
Now, what makes a bad Bohemian Rhapsody? Is it the air guitar, or is it just the...
Improper thrashing.
Oh, improper thrashing. A good thrash during Bohemian Rhapsody is very important.
Actually, I was just advised that the best karaoke song is We Are the Champions.
Oh, yeah. Queen. We Are the Champions. There are actually a lot of great Queen karaoke songs. Bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. No? You guys shout us out. What is the best karaoke song that you like to sing? And we'll let OG Karaoke, our great sponsor, know, and maybe you'll get to sing that at a next karaoke event.
My very first karaoke experience was the age of
Aquarius. Aquarius. Harmony and understanding. No, nobody else? Sailor likes it. And with that, we'll get back to Derby action. Nora, and I believe that is Memento Rory getting ready to jam again. So, just kidding. Psych, we're still maybe getting that official timeout out of the way, but it will be Memento Rory and Nora the Destroyer whenever we do get started again.
It looks like we have dueling tripods on the track again as well.
Dueling Tripods. That would be the name of a great karaoke band right there.
That is the name of a really awesome band.
It is. Is there a band named Dueling Tripods already? There has to be. Like, no one. I mean, that's too original to not have been come up with already. Someone let us know over here in the announcers booth if there is a rock band or really any band that already goes by the name Dueling Tripods, because I'm going to Google it here in about 3 minutes, and I'll be disappointed if one of you hasn't already let me know. And I think we've adequately covered the official review now, so we will get started here. The next whistle will start the jam. And Memento Rory, nice move to the inside, lead jam for DDG. And Nora knocked out of bounds there. I think that might be Anakin Starblocker doing the work as the pivot. Oh, a huge hit by, I believe that is Stormbird. Nora having a tough time consistently getting recycled here.
Well, it looks like we did have a star pass over to Fancy Spice. Fancy Spice is now the jammer for Ghost Fleet, and Rory calling that jam off. Rory was able to pick up 4 points on that last pass. Okay, that is the Urban Dictionary definition of dueling tripods. I don't know what standard tripod position is, so I'm afraid to ask.
All right, so apparently there is not a band named Dueling Tripods already, but I will tell you that there is an Urban Dictionary definition of Dueling Tripods. As a Moxakillan now working outside for Ghost Fleet. Bounced back. I believe that is Blondie Kicks.
And Moni Soprano trying to work her way to the very front of the Ghost Fleet wall, getting held back by Zen. And Moni Soprano is your lead jammer.
And hot on Moni's heels is a Moxakillan. That was Blondie Knox. Called, I believe, for a multiplayer block right at the end.
Moni Soprano calling that off as Moxakillan was coming up on her side.
So yeah, a Moxakillan, even when a Moxakillan has not been the lead jam, just has the speed that is able to close back down and catch up to the lead jammer. So we'll see. That is a Parks and Rec coming out, going up against Dissonant Darlin.
Score 116 Phantoms, 56 Seven City Sirens, 23 and a half left to go.
Parks and Rec up on the toe stops. Oh, Anakin Starblocker just not able to block her.
Dissonant Darling getting through.
Yeah, so another foot race out here by these two jammers, and Parks and Rec telling her wall to move forward as quickly as possible.
Parks and Rec taking a hard hit there on turn 1 by the DDG wall and calling off that jam. No points were awarded to either jammer on that jam.
And that big hit by Stormbird and Anakin Starblocker actually knocked Parks and Rec out and prevented anybody from scoring. So nice stout defense by DDG. Great defensive twosome there. And a tripod out there now with one blocker still in the penalty box for DDG. That should be Al Rekia anchoring that blocking tripod for DDG. Amoxakillan out there trying to push. Oh, Amoxakillan up on the toe stops, just brute forcing into the middle of that tripod.
Memento Rory trying to get through
And Amoxicillin taking a peek across the outside line to see exactly where Rory was. Rory getting hung up there between Killers Zen and Mobsta. But Rory now through as well. Amoxicillin already into the scoring. And I would bet that Amoxicillin tries to score here and immediately call, and that is exactly what happens. Amoxicillin hips, gets 2 more.
Nice little blocking action there by Forlo Woody and Big Bougie and Owl Rekya. On the jam line, we have Fancy Spice and Moni Soprano.
I don't think we've seen Fancy jamming in this half yet, so this will be the first jam for Fancy in the second half with a blocker from each team in the penalty box. That was the pivot. Killer Zen sent off late there in the last jam, so a tripod for each team. Dueling tripods again. Dueling tripods, I love it. Fancy Spice out as lead jam, and stop me if you've heard that before. Fancy Spice, lead jam. 2 phrases that almost go hand in hand here.
Looks like we almost had a star pass, Anakin Star Blocker being sent to the penalty box, so Moni was not able to pass the star.
Oh, and that's demoralizing as a jammer when the pivot goes to the box because, yeah, the star pass is no longer in play. Moni's...
Hard hit there by Stormbird, but Fancy Spice was able to get through, picking up points and calling off that jam. Sorry.
Now, Moni Soprano did a really nice job getting low and putting the shoulder in between Sugar and Slice and Stevie Kicks on that last jam to actually push through on the inside of turn 2.
We have Dissonant Darling and Parks and Rec on the line.
So Parks and Rec thus far is the leading scorer for GFRD. That is courtesy of an 18-point jam earlier in the first half, but Amoxicillin right on Parks and Rec's heels.
Dissonant Darling able to get through, pick up lead jammer status.
And Darlin's like, don't talk about them. Talk about me. I'm the lead jam now.
We have a star pass to Nora the Destroyer.
And Nora the Destroyer has the star in hand, but Owl Rekya almost able to continue blocking, but an out of no pack condition called there, so not able to continue blocking on Nora.
Dissonant Darling listening to her bench staff, calling off that jam. Both jammers picking up 2 points on that last scoring pass. Score 132, Phantoms 58, 7 City Sirens, 19 left to go.
Full team lineups now back on the track. Memento Rory and Amoxicillin. And Chili Con Carnage pushing the Ghost Fleet wall, really compressing both walls right up against the jam line. Not a lot of space to maneuver for either jammer.
Rory was trying to take that inside straightaway, but had to pull back a little bit. Amoxicillin is your lead jammer. Rory's still trying to get through those last Ghost Fleet blockers.
Oh, a
Low block penalty issued to Memento Rory against Zen, so we have a power jam for Ghost Fleet.
So that last little push on the part of a Memento Rory ended up in a low block call. So power jam now for Amoxicillin. Ooh, nice move to the inside. Chili Con Carnage able to just keep that inside line open against Forlo Woody. So a little bit of offensive movement coming here on the inside from Chili Con Carnage. Chili Con Carnage opening up an inside hole. Amoxicillin not able to quite stay in bounds, though, through that lane.
Blondie Knox was able to pop her on the inside there. Nice block work there by Blondie.
And Blondie Knox and Forlo Woody effectively penalty killed and allowed Memento Rory to come back on the track. So nice penalty killing by DDG there. And I believe with that 10-point jam, Amoxicillin now the leading scorer for Ghost Fleet in this second half.
On the line we have Fancy Spice and Moni Soprano. Score update. Phantoms 142, 7 City Sirens 58, 17, 48 left to go.
All right, so an official timeout being called right now. Probably a discussion of the low block or the back block being called, but we'll talk you through that in a minute. But while we do, don't forget, we are halfway through the second half, and as soon as this game is concluded, we'll be hustling on over to Capstan Bar Brewing Company and having our after party. So make your way over to Capstan Bar if you want to enjoy hanging out with some of these awesome derby skaters and just enjoy this beautiful. It's one of the last, I think, good like warm weekends of the fall, I think.
The temperature outside is phenomenal. It is finally fall, and I'm loving it.
I keep waiting for like the overnight temperatures to dip down to the 40s, and they haven't quite gotten there yet. But it's right around the corner, so get outside and enjoy it while you can. And Fancy Spice putting the star on for the second time, going up against, I believe that is Moni Soprano. And there's Al Recchia anchoring that quad blocking with, I believe, Blondie Knox in the middle there for DDG. And yes, a big hit. Sends a Fancy Spice down to the track there. Great blocking here up top by DDG.
We had a no pack called, so the skaters must release and must reform, and Fancy Spice was able to pick up lead jammer status.
Looks like a star pass attempted there by DDG, so star handed over to Forlow Woody. Oh, is that Anakin Starblocker? Apologies. Yeah, so Anakin Starblocker getting knocked out of bounds, though, by Mobsta at the outside of turn 2, so recycling.
Anakin taking a little bit of a hard hit there, but able to get right back up.
And Stabarella having a release now with the no pack, so Stabarella doing a great job hanging up Anakin Starblocker. Yeah, Dissonant Darlin and Killer Zen. Killer Zen actually, I believe, jamming for the first time this second half, primarily as a jammer. We've seen Zen pivoting a couple of times, and Zen trying to move her own teammates out of the way to try to chase down Dissonant Darling, who is the lead jam for DDG.
Nice skating there for Dissonant Darling, getting through and picking up 4 points. Both skaters picking up 4 points on that jam.
Yeah, Killer Zen really hitting the back of the DDG wall there with a lot of steam, able to get through and equalize the point scoring there.
She's wiry.
Wiry and crafty. All right, Amoxicillin getting back on the track, hoping to improve that scoring lead there with Ghost Fleet going up against Memento Rory. Both walls jamming up against the jam line again, not allowing either Amoxicillin or Rory to get kind of a running start or get any momentum approaching the back of the packs there.
Amoxicillin has been awarded lead jammer status. Rory's still trying to make it through and is now scoring. Oh, nope, going to the penalty box for a track cut penalty. Power jam, Ghost Fleet.
So a power jam for Amoxicillin. You can see Amoxicillin is probably a little gassed now. Amoxicillin has been fairly consistent with the jamming throughout this game, but will definitely take advantage of the power jam while they can. I think that was a hit by Stabarella on Memento Rory that recycled and got the track cut successfully. So I think we've seen both teams really packing right up against the jam line when either one of these jammers is out there. And that's really more of a compliment to the jammers and those jammers' speed. You don't want to let a fast jammer get a lot of momentum and really hit the back of the packs.
Last ditch effort there by Al Recchia trying to grab Amoxicillin before she's able to get through all the way.
All right, Venus Thigh Trap putting on the star for the first time for Ghost Fleet. So seeing some new jammers getting out there for Ghost Fleet.
We've got Moni Soprano on the line for 7 City Sirens.
And you like to see fresh legs and fresh jammers putting on the star for these teams towards the bottom half of this second half.
Nice little bit of a cluster there, and looks like Moni Soprano was able to come through and pick up lead jammer status. And Venus making it through. Both jammers are now on their scoring passes.
Yeah, Venus, luckily Venus made it through since the pivot for Ghost Fleet. Parks and Rec got sent to the box, so a star pass not an option for Venus Thigh Trap.
And Moni listening to the bench staff calling that jam off before Venus was able to get through and pick up any points.
Yeah, that was heads-up call there by Moni to ensure that Venus Thigh Trap was not able to score any points. And we'll see who comes out with a star this time for Ghost Fleet. That'll be Fancy Spice.
And Dissonant Darlin for the Sirens.
So Owl Rekia again anchoring the defense up there for DDG.
She's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, both Owl Rekia and Blondinox and I want to say Bambi's Bullet have all three just really been forces on the inside and outside line anchoring DDG's tripods today.
Dissonant Darlin was able to break through and picking up lead jammer status. Fancy Spice now on their scoring pass.
And Dissonant Darling got a huge lead on Fancy, able to score 4 points uninterrupted and call the jam off before Fancy Spice can make it back around. Death by 1,000 cuts there as DDG continues to cut into the Ghost Fleet lead, and as long as we keep seeing DDG securing those lead jams and then doing stout defense to hold back Ghost Fleet's jammers, we may see a lot more of those 4-point jams and then quickly calling it off.
We have Memento Rory and Amoxicillin on the jam line.
Oh man, Memento Rory sidestepped around Stevie Kicks and Venus Thigh Trap like they weren't even there. Lead jam for Rory. And it's a foot race again.
Rory barreling through, hitting the deck, calling off that jam. Rory was able to pick up 2, and Amoxicillin was able to pick up, Rory picked up 4, and Amoxicillin picked up 2 on that last jam, on that last pass.
Yeah, so that's pure speed by Amoxicillin to able to just close the gap to Rory and also score some points. And I got to say, Rory almost called that jam in midair, horizontal with the floor. I felt like Rory was knocked off the skates and was midair calling that jam. And official timeout being taken.
Score 170 Phantom, 74 Sirens, 10 minutes and 46 seconds left to go.
And it looks like that'll be Moni Soprano and Killer's End. So Killer's End jamming for the second time. We saw Killer's End getting low and able to just slide right through 2 of the blockers for DDG. We'll see if they can pull that off again here, coming up with just over 10 minutes left in this game. And with that whistle, we're back at it. Killer's Inn gliding right around to the outside, but Owl Rekia, oh, nice move by Zen to the outside. Very slippery. Moved around, I believe that's Anakin Starblocker.
Anakin Starblocker receiving the star is now the jammer for Sirens.
So Stabarella attempted to recycle Moni Soprano there, but Moni able to hand off the star before it occurred. So yeah, nice gameplay there from DDG to pass off the star rapidly with being knocked out of bounds. All right, Nora the Destroyer getting ready to jam again for the 3rd or 4th time here for Ghost Fleet. And we'll see Fancy Spice anchoring the blocking up there with Mona Lisa, Stevie Kicks, and I believe that is Amoxicillin.
We've got Dissonant Darlin jamming for Dominion with Forlo Woody and Winona Strider and Stormbird.
So Nora trying to push on the inside. Both jammers neck and neck. The entire pack pushing through, and Nora bursts through on the inside past Blondinox. Amoxicillin and Fancy Spice doing a little face-to-face blocking. Fancy trying to give chase, but cannot keep up with Dissonant Darling.
Nora calling that jam off. Picking up, looks like 3 points, and Darling was able to pick up 1.
So there we go. Fancy and Dissonant Darling giving each other high fives there on the track. And we got Venus Thigh Trap getting ready to jam again for the second time. So Venus going up against Moni Soprano. And as we're talking about, a little bit of non-standard jamming here from Ghost Fleet. You like to see that. So Fancy Spice actually remained out on the track as a jammer with Stabarella, Parks, and Rec. And doing a great job. I believe that is with Venus Thigh Trap now working up front.
Anakin Starblocker reporting to the penalty box for a pack destruction penalty. Venus Thigh Trap picking up lead jammer status.
Yeah, Venus Thigh Trap had a hard time on that initial step around.
And Moni Soprano getting run back there by one of the Ghost Fleet blockers, still on her initial pass.
I believe that was Big Bougie. Big Bougie giving the initial couple of hits there, doing a nice job of the inside line for DDG. Now another blocker sent to the box. That one is Parks and Rec from Ghost Fleet. Fancy Spice and Stabarella combining to knock Moni Soprano out of bounds.
It looks like Killer Zen will be reporting to the penalty box for a pack destruction penalty right there at the very end.
All right, so with 2 blockers in the penalty box for Ghost Fleet, we're actually going to see DDG with a significant advantage here. Only 2 blockers will be on the track to start for Ghost Fleet. Amoxicillin will have their work cut out for him. And if I was Amoxicillin, I'd probably be asking just for offense, but we'll see exactly what comes up here. A full blocking wall in place for DDG. All right, with just over 7 minutes left, a good time to shout out some more of our great sponsors. Bradley Family Farms, for all your organic and farm fresh produce, visit the Bradley Family Farms. That is the place to be to get a healthy, hearty dinner time meal. So Bradley Family Farms, a sponsor here for Ghost Fleet Roller Derby. Probably should have looked that up before I started talking, but
Treat that out.
it's so good. Yeah, the Get Chizzy, like Ghost Fleet, is like a jalapeno popper buffalo chicken grilled cheese sandwich. It is a heart attack in a basket. It's so good.
See, I don't love buffalo, but I would try it.
It's really good. And all right, so did anybody else come up with a good karaoke song? We talked about some Queen songs. Age of Aquarius was listed. Do we have any audience members that wanted to come up or shout out their favorite karaoke song? We're definitely taking requests at this point while we go through the official timeout.
Yeah, I see you guys over there. I'm watching you, Stormbird. Mama Bird has her eyes on you. Yeah, they want hot to go.
Well, here you go. We can come up with this. Maybe this is a good karaoke song. I don't know. You'll know it when you hear it. I'll find it to him, yeah.
All right, Dissonant Darling and Amoxa Killen on the jam line.
And Amoxa Killen getting a running start again with only 2 blockers out there. Amoxa Killen need to get a little bit of a head of steam.
Dissonant Darling referring to the penalty box, so Amoxa Killen will have a power jam.
So Amoxa Killen, even with only 2 blockers out there, a opportunity to become the lead jammer if they could just get around Forlow Woody, and they do. Amoxa Killen out as lead jam now for Ghost Fleet. And we see multiple blockers being released from the penalty box, so now Ghost Fleet back up to full strength as Amoxa Killen, sidesteps right around Forlow Woody on the inside of turn 1.
That was a beautiful attempt, Woody, but alas, it did not. She passed.
Swinging that door closed, not quite fast enough, and Forlow Woody giving chase, and now Amoxa Killen tries the outside line as Dissonant Darling back on track for DDG.
Dissonant Darling taking that inside line on the straightaway.
Forlow Woody and Blondie Knox trying to dual block here, and it's they're doing quite a good job on the upper straightaway of holding up Amoxa Killen and allowing Dissonant Darling to catch back up.
Valiant effort on the part of all the skaters on the track. Score 197 Phantoms, 75 Seven City Sirens, 6 minutes left to go. I told him that you said that I could come out and play with you. And he's like, good. And it looks like we have a DDG timeout.
Yeah, so a team timeout taken right there. So if you didn't think Mr. Brightside was the song for you, we'll look up something else.
Yeah, but we'll give that to them in the last 2 minutes. Best karaoke songs.
I was going to do Push It next, but or Hit Me With Your Best Shot. We already did Hit Me With Your Best Shot, so. Well, if you like Mr. Brightside, you should like this one as a karaoke song. Magma likes it.
I don't know any of these songs. I'm so old.
And we get started here with Memento Rory and Fancy Spice, and the theme of this jam is Push It. We'll see both jammers trying to push through the walls here, and Memento Rory, nice, opening a lane to the inside, so Rory out lead jam.
Rory pushed it real good.
And now Fancy Spice trying to put on the speed here to catch up to Rory as both walls have moved successfully into turn 2 but come to a relative stop. And Rory does the tactically smart sound thing, calls off the jam with, I believe, 3 points. No, full 4. So a full 4 points there for Rory. Oh, there we go.
On the jam line, we have Moni Soprano and Parks and Rec.
It's actually on the playlist. So we'll play that one next. Parks and Rec, very jukey on the outside line, and in through the inside, drifts past Blondie Knox. Lead jam for Parks and Rec.
We have a star pass over to Forlow Woody. Forlow Woody is now the jammer for the Sirens.
Yeah, so again, DDG showing high awareness, getting the star off the helmet and pass to the pivots as soon as the lead jam for Ghost Fleet is declared.
Parks and Rec calling that jam off. Score 201-79, 4 minutes left to go.
And it looks like a Moxakillen getting those hands up, getting ready to jam again for Ghost Fleet.
Dissonant Darlin on the line for the Sirens. Bit of a tumble there on the straightaway. And Amoxicillin was able to make it through, picking up lead jammer status.
Alrighty, there goes Amoxicillin extending out there as the leading scorer for Ghost Fleet.
And that jam being called off.
Not sure exactly what called that jam. Looks like an official call off of the jam. So an official review there occurring, and while we do that, we'll get a different karaoke song going on.
This is for you, Stormbird.
Out on the track. There we go.
I expect to see everybody's hands in the air at the appropriate time, please.
Well, I think we have the winner right there so far. Hot to Go, the leading contender for karaoke and at least danceable songs, as Stabarella now jamming against Memento Rory.
Rory trying to break her way through. Getting run back there, though, on the straightaway. And Stabarella is lead jammer.
So we've seen Stabarella blocking quite a bit today. This is Stabby's first time putting on the star as a jammer. So we've seen Stabarella doing quite a bit of recycling. Stabby to the outside and getting some passive offense there from her team. And nice 4 points for Stabarella there. Nice. Venus Thigh Trap putting on the star for the third time today. So Venus going up against Moni Soprano.
Bit of a tumble right there, right before turn one. Moni Soprano getting hit in the deck.
And
Fancy Spice and is lead jammer.
yeah, Fancy Spice able to apply a hit there on the inside of turn two, but both skaters down, and Fancy just not able to hold up Moni. A star pass potentially in the offing here It looks like Nora the Destroyer, the pivot for Ghost Fleet's now got the star on and getting recycled all the way back by Alrekia.
Mona Soprano hitting that Ghost Fleet wall.
Alrekia putting on a clinic with the shoulders there.
And Moni calling that jam off. Score 209, Phantom 79, DDG.
And with just over a minute left to go, I would assess that we've probably got maybe 1 or 2 jams left in this game. All right, Stabarella putting the star back on.
And Dissonant Darling on the line for the Sirens.
Stabarella trying to work outside and is just able to stay up on the toe stops. Oh, that was some fancy footwork. And Stabarella super excited to get out his lead jam there. Oh no, a track cut called. I spoke too soon. Instead said it's Dissonant Darling out his lead jam for DDG. So I really thought that Stabby had stayed inbounds there with the toe stops.
Nice little hop there on the inside. Picking up 4 points. Good job, Dissonant.
And now with official time expired, this will be the final jam of the game, and we'll go as long as Darling wants to skate, basically.
Darling picking up another 4 points.
And Darlin showing no signs of stopping, coming around as Venus Thigh Trap, Stevie Kicks, Mona Lisa, and I believe that's Killer Zen trying to play a little defense, but no, Darling slides right through.
And calling off that jam.
All right. With that, your unofficial score right now, Ghost Fleet 209, DDG 94. We'll come back at you here with the official score in just a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause for our skaters today. Please let them know that you enjoyed watching today.
Let them know that you were entertained.
Are you not entertained? And if you stick around, both teams will be voting for MVP Jammer, MVP Blocker, and right here in just a minute. We'll have those announcements in just a couple minutes once the teams do the voting. So,
Final score 209 Phantoms, 94 Seven City Sirens.
yeah, that is your final score then. All right, a huge thank you to DDG for traveling up to the Peninsula, coming out to the Peninsula Family Skating Center. Hugely appreciative of roller derby here in the local area and in the Hampton Roads area.